Alright guys, this is an introduction to a blaster overview video. It's the first blaster overview introduction I've done sort of face to face, so there's that's good. This is my Hammershot. This is the one that I run as a primary in my, when I'm playing HVZ. I like to be able to just top it up on the run and not have to carry too much of a rig around with me. I'm going to go through what I've done to it. You can see it's got a paint job. It's one that I'm really proud of, and there's some good internal upgrades as well that I'll cover. And then at the end we'll cover the boring chrono data to look at the performance. I can't remember exactly what it's getting. It's somewhere between 80 and 85 FPS, but I'm happy with that. That's all it needs to be. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, so let me give you a close-up of the hydro dip that I put on this. This is probably one of my favourite paint jobs. It's really clean, really like it. It's what I call a super stock paint job. I haven't done everything painted. I've done a base coat with a hydro dip, and I've left some of these bits around the hammer and the turret and a lot along the top. I've left them as is. They are stock. Dipped the handle as well, but you can't really see that that well. I will try and get a close-up to see if you can see it. It's supposed to be wood grain, but it's really hard to make out. So I'm going to be redoing that at some point. The externals, there's very few externals. There's a 7-shot Jace 3D cylinder, and there's a blaster parts kit. I'm going to open it up now and show you the inside. Right, so we've got the internals here, and you can see you've got the blaster parts kit with the hammer and the trigger. There's the upgraded spring. There's a 3D printed spacer. I believe it's a 6mm spacer that Dave RA printed for me, and I will be having one of those in all of the Hammershots that I end up running. I've also removed the air restrictor, although that's not strictly necessary. I decided to remove that one of the first mods that I did without really understanding what it was going to give me. It's not really going to give me an awful lot of benefit, but I've done it in this one in particular. I might not do it on the others, but I don't know, I haven't decided yet. That's for a different video and a different conversation. So yeah, I'll take some of I'll go over some of the other little bits that I've done. There's two other things I want to cover, but I'm going to need to take the internals out to show you. So just give me a second and I will show you that. Right, so the first thing to show you is this bit right where my finger is. I'll pop up a picture of what the original Hammershot shell looked like, but there's two little extrusions in that gap, and I was finding that the blaster parts hammer was hammering into it and warping the plastic. So I used a X-Acto knife to cut away those two little bits, and it just gave the hammer somewhere when it was sitting much nicer. It wasn't warping the plastic, pushing the plastic, or putting any stress on the shell. And then the second thing I wanted to show you was, actually I'll put a link to the video that I followed. It was Tom over at Foam Data Services that did an excellent video on how to adjust a tiny little bit of plastic inside here. You can see where the shell plastic is at a bit of an odd angle. I shaved that back a little bit, which allowed the trigger to sit in a nicer position and interact with the hammer, the sear of the hammer, in a much nicer way, so that there was going to be a lot less wear on the hammer action. Really easy mods. Both of them took about a minute to do, and I would recommend anybody who is upgrading their Hammershots to do that. That's all I've literally done. You can see that the air restrictor has been removed. The foam's actually in really good condition on there. I was expecting that to be a lot worse. You've got the upgraded spring with the 3D printed spacer, and it's really simple to upgrade. This is a closer look at the cylinder. It's a really well printed piece of kit. Really impressed with it. Dart fits lovely, no snagging, really smooth, really impressed. and that's my Hammershot. So let's move on to chrono data. Okay, so very quickly we're going to go through this. You've seen these before. I did a 150 dart shoot across the Elite Couche and Waffle Tip darts that were in the Bristol Blast dart pool. So they're used darts, they're war-worn darts when I did this, and I'm quite pleased with the results. You can see for Elite darts the average is 85, on Couche it's 78.6, and Waffle Tips are lower again, as you'd expect that, just under 74. Average across the pool is 79, might as well call it 80 because you know it's close enough. The really good thing I liked about this is that on Waffle Tips the standard deviation is really low. It's really good, and I was quite surprised to see a few shots kind of touching the 90s, 91, 92, 93. So I was really impressed with that. It's fairly consistent as well, particularly on waffles. There's a bit of spread with Elites and Couche, but you'd expect that on those darts. So I'll put the link to this spreadsheet if you want to go and have a dig in yourself. I'm not going to go over it in too much detail. It is what it is. I like the performance considering what it is stock. I've got 2 extra shots and it's getting some extra FPS out of it, and it looks cool as hell. So yep, done. Okay, so I've shown you my Hammershot, and I'd just quickly like to end this video by saying that I do actually name all of my blasters, sad as that is. And before Hasbro came along with their regulator, this was the regulator, this was my regulator, and to be honest, they f***ed me off stealing my name. It fit the blaster for me, and not only did they steal this name, they've also taken another name of mine, and I just wanted to get off my chest. The guys that know me know how frustrated I got when the news broke that Hades was coming out. I've already got a Hades, I don't need another one, and I've already got a regulator, I don't need another one. So I hope you enjoyed the overview, and I'll catch you guys later.